Real Madrid could be facing the prospect of losing one of their most promising young midfielders in the summer transfer window. Reports from Spain suggest that Eduardo Camavinga has emerged as a prime target for Premier League giants Manchester United, who are prepared to go to great lengths in order to secure his services. The French international only arrived at the Santiago Bernabéu in 2021, making the switch from Rennes after being heralded as one of the brightest teenage prospects in European football. His decision to join Real Madrid was seen at the time as a coup for the Spanish side, given that several top clubs were vying for his signature. Since moving to the Spanish capital, Camavinga's career has been somewhat complicated. While he has certainly enjoyed moments of brilliance and has shown flashes of his immense talent, his opportunities under Carlo Ancelotti have often been limited. Regular starts have been difficult to come by, with the Italian manager preferring more experienced figures in midfield. This lack of consistent game time has not gone unnoticed across Europe. According to Spanish outlet Fitches, Manchester United have been closely monitoring the situation and view Camavinga as a potential solution to their midfield rebuild. United's hierarchy reportedly believe he could provide both energy and quality in a department that has long been criticised for lacking dynamism. United's interest in Camavinga is nothing new. In fact, back in 2021, the Red Devils were among the frontrunners to sign him. Negotiations reportedly took place, but ultimately the midfielder opted for a move to Spain, tempted by the prestige of representing Los Blancos and the lure of Champions League football at the Bernabéu. Despite being overlooked at the time, Manchester United's admiration for the Frenchman has never truly faded. Club scouts and executives are said to have continued tracking his progress, and now that his situation in Madrid looks less than ideal, they sense an opportunity to make another move. The reports claim that United's board are ready to back Erik ten Hag with significant funds in the summer to bring in a world-class midfielder. Camavinga is firmly on the shortlist, and Old Trafford officials are believed to be ready to break the bank in order to bring him to Manchester. A staggering figure has been mentioned in connection with this potential transfer. Sources suggest that United would be willing to table a bid in the region of €130 million, a sum designed to test the resolve of the Madrid hierarchy. It would represent one of the biggest deals in the club's history and underline their determination to return to the very top of European football. From United's perspective, Camavinga would not only be an immediate reinforcement but also a long-term investment. At just 21 years of age, he has already amassed considerable experience in La Liga, the Champions League, and with the French national team. Many in Manchester believe that his best years are yet to come. However, convincing Real Madrid to part ways with Camavinga will be no easy task. According to the same reports, Madrid remain highly reluctant to sanction his departure. Within the club, there is a strong belief that Camavinga is still developing and could yet become the cornerstone of their midfield for the next decade. In fact, figures within the Spanish giants view him as a diamond in the rough, a player of immense raw ability who, with time and patience, could evolve into one of the finest midfielders in world football. For that reason, Los Blancos are expected to resist any overtures from Old Trafford, regardless of how lucrative the offer may appear. Camavinga himself finds his future in a delicate balance. While he has remained professional and committed to the Madrid cause, there is an acknowledgement that regular football is essential for his continued growth, particularly with international tournaments on the horizon for France. The player is said to be weighing his options carefully. For Manchester United, the summer window could therefore become decisive. Should they succeed in persuading Madrid to engage in negotiations, Camavinga would instantly become the poster boy for their new era under Ten Hag, symbolizing a fresh direction built upon youth, athleticism, and technical quality. On the other hand, should Real Madrid hold firm, it would be a clear statement of intent from the Spanish champions. By keeping hold of Camavinga, they would be signaling their faith in his ability to become the heir to legends such as Luka Modric and Toni Kroos, ensuring the club's midfield remains world-class for years to come. What remains certain is that the tug-of-war for Eduardo Camavinga's future is set to be one of the more intriguing narratives of the upcoming transfer market. Whether the young Frenchman stays at the Bernabéu or embarks on a new adventure in the Premier League, his career trajectory promises to be a fascinating journey to watch. Manchester United have once again found themselves at the centre of transfer speculation, this time being linked with Stuttgart midfielder Angelo Stiller. Reports suggest that the 24-year-old German has emerged as a potential option should United fail in their pursuit of Brighton and Hove Albion's Carlos Baliba. The Red Devils began their 2025-26 Premier League campaign with a disappointing defeat at the hands of Arsenal, yet there were still encouraging signs for manager Rubenamorim to take away from the performance. Summer signings Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo both impressed on their competitive debuts, hinting at a sharper edge in attack, though consistency remains an issue in midfield, with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte struggling to exert sustained influence. United's interest in Baliba has been widely reported over recent weeks, but Brighton's valuation of the young Cameroonian midfielder is proving to be something of a stumbling block. At this late stage of the transfer window, the Seagulls are understandably reluctant to part ways with one of their key players without receiving a hefty fee in return. As such, United's recruitment team have been forced to consider alternatives, and Stiller appears to fit the mold of the type of ball-playing midfielder Amorim covets. According to Sky Sports, no formal discussions have yet taken place between the two clubs, but the German is now firmly on United's radar as they look to reinforce a department that has been a long-standing concern. Stiller has been a central figure in Stuttgart's recent resurgence, guiding the club to a remarkable second-place finish in the Bundesliga in 2023-24 and playing a pivotal role in their DFB Pokal triumph the following season. His composure and authority in possession have marked him out as one of the league's most reliable distributors, completing a staggering 2,540 passes last term, over 500 more than any of his teammates. Furthermore, he topped the charts within his squad for key passes, 59, balls played into the final third, 271, and progressive passes, 289, highlighting his ability to dictate the tempo of play and carve open opposition lines with precision. What Stiller lacks in physicality, he compensates for with intelligence, vision, and technical skill. He is not the most athletic presence in midfield, often requiring a more mobile partner alongside him to cover ground defensively, but his quality under pressure makes him an invaluable asset in possession. United's struggles last season in moving the ball swiftly through the thirds have been well documented, and a player of Stiller's profile would provide exactly the kind of calmness and assurance that Amorim's side have been missing. Yet there is a caveat: the German is not a natural destroyer, and should Amorim rely too heavily on him in defensive transitions, the flaws already exposed in Casemiro and Ugarte's adaptation to English football may be compounded rather than resolved. Baliba, by contrast, may not boast the same passing pedigree as Stiller, but he brings an energy and athleticism that could be equally valuable in Amorim's evolving setup. The Brighton man thrives under pressure, capable of carrying the ball forward with dynamism and offering a shield in midfield that United have too often lacked. It is not inconceivable that both players could eventually line up together at Old Trafford, providing balance between control and athleticism.